Hey everybody, Jabman025 here. Today I'm taking a look at something a little different. The great Mazinger Z Infinity Edition. It's a high-grade kit, non-scale, but I decided to pick this one up, and you may be wondering why. Well, way back in the day, way back, I played with this Mazinger action figure when I was a tiny little kid. He's now missing arms and pieces and all sorts of stuff. But he was my first big, giant Japanese robot. When I saw this model kit at my local hobby shop, I could not say no. So, cracking open the box. This has some beautiful parts on it. Lots of gloss, lots of great colors. You get purples and like this mustard yellow. It looks great. And the silvers and the dark blues and the reds. And a lot of parts, not everything, but a lot of parts have this great gloss on it and very metallic sheen, like blues and purples. Just a beautiful color palette on this particular kit. And like most Bandai kits, you don't have to paint anything if you don't want to. Do a fair bit of lining to do. We'll get to that. I also give you an action base, one of the newer ones, with a black base and a clear stand. I decided not to do this because I want to keep this guy grounded, but I'm going to save that one for another day. But there's an action base included in this kit. Starting off with the head sculpt. It's gorgeous. It just is. No paint required. There are bad nubs on this kit because of the silvers and lots of glosses. The nubs that stand out are pretty bad. So if you wanted to hide those, you have to bust out some gunner markers and clean them. There's not a ton of them, but where they are, they're pretty obvious. And I got this little thing, this little piloted ship. They call it the Brain Condor. That's right, Brain Condor, because that just, what else do I need to say? Brain Condor. And this is where the pilot thing is, I guess. There is stickers on this thing for the yellow parts and for a little bit of silver. That's the only stickers on the kit. And you don't have to use the Brain Condor if you want to. Take out the front, and he plugs into the top of the head like this, so the pilot's up there at the top of the head. I want to say it again. Brain Condor. That's just fun. Anyway, looks good. No stickers needed for the eyes. Torso is gorgeous looking. The detail on the torso and the chest and just all the metallic and the gloss finished everything. This is just beautiful looking. It's over the top ridiculous, but it's beautiful. Not a ton of movement out of the head. It kind of looked down, kind of turned to side, all right, but not a lot of movement. Stick on the arms, and guess what? The arms look great. High gloss, purplish blues, the silver, the black. But what you're seeing there is the extent of the elbow bend, which is not a lot. They come with individual hands. You got a fist hand, open hand. I'll go over them a little bit. And they just pop on there. That's the extent of the elbow. The wrist will turn, but not tilt. However, the shoulders will go anywhere you want. Full 360, no problem. Legs still look great. Lots of lining to do on these things. Pretty much all over this kit is lining. You can do it as heavy or as light as you like. I think it works good with some lining on this particular kit. I like the way the front skirt armor looks. You think that's attached to the waist. It isn't. It's actually connected to the leg. So it just moves with the leg. It looks like the skirt armor is getting out of the way. It's not. It's just moving with the leg. And that's kind of cool. The knees will bend, but unless you get them on an action stand, both feet will be planted on the ground at all times, and they will be straight as a rail. This guy has very tiny thighs and giant calves. I mean, like, ridiculously huge calves. Ankle is pretty good, but like I said, legs are going to be straight on this guy 99% of the time. And you got this chest piece, which is one of the most beautiful pieces of plastic I've ever cut off a part tree. Look at that. The clear and the bracketing inside. It just, yes. Yes, please. Then we got this thing called the Scramble Dash. Again, I love the names on this thing. Lots of lining to do on this. This is like a backpack thing for flight. It just hooks right into the back. Doesn't affect balance. It's really big, but it weighs nothing. So it doesn't affect balance in any way. Accessories, you get 2 BASs, or big ass swords, silver blade, yellow handle, 2 bracket hands to hold them, and it can hold these things without issue. There you go. They don't weigh much of anything, and the shoulders are plenty strong enough. Give you extra hands. They give you this pointing finger, which is used for the thunder break. Again, I love these names. And you get 2 handshake hands, which is interesting, but they only give you enough brackets for the wrist connection for one of the handshake hands. I don't know why. It seems odd. I guess they figured we're going to make 2 handshake hands. Whichever one looks better is the one we'll use, and it's definitely the one I put the bracket on. It does look like a much better handshake hand. In the manual, they show it shaking hands with another Mazinger. Here's the pointing finger. I love that. It's just neat looking. I don't know what I'll use that pointing finger for. Look, the east is burning red. I don't know, but I'm going to use something for it. This thing will turn up in an ending gag for something with that finger. And the handshake out. You can have it shaking hands with other kits. That's just neat. Attachments for that action base, they give you one in the crotch if you want them up and right and down, and one that's this. This is used for flying. If you want him to fly, like so, you can have him like this. It looks pretty silly in my estimation, but whatever suits you. And it hooks right onto the front as so, and that looks very wrong. Final thoughts on this kit. I'm going to give it a thumbs up, but it may be a nostalgic thumbs up. And you know what? I don't care. I played with the Mazinger action figure back in the day. I didn't even know it was Mazinger. I just knew it was a big robot. When I was a tiny, tiny little kid, like 4 or 5 years old, I remember playing with that thing. And a Godzilla action figure, but that's another story. And when I saw this at my local hobby store, I had to buy it. It looks amazing. The great colors, great lining. That chest piece is amazing. The backpack looks cool. Everything looks great. But it's going to stand there and look great. The accessories, the swords aren't really anything that great. The hands are neat. You can use them for different things, but this isn't a poser. The legs are going to be firmly planted on the ground. The elbows barely move at all. Shoulders are nice, but the only thing you might do is put on an action base and have it flying if you like, but I'm just going to keep it on a shelf standing there looking cool. And that's good enough for me. Well, gang, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you found it informative. If you have any questions, please ask them. I will answer them as best as I can. Please stay tuned for more. I always got more reviews coming. Thank you to everyone watching my reviews, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, and one more thing. Wow. It's truly an honor to meet the original RX-78 OG Gundam. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the collection. Let me introduce you to some of the boys. Hey, yo, hello, what's up? The hell? Yeah, it can be a weird collection at times.